Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. This is Mr. Mitchell bringing you your lesson for Monday, May 5th. All right, so some of us have had a little bit of trouble connecting, and some of us have been SOL testing during our class day. So everyone is in a slightly different place. The first thing I want to tell you is if you have not finished any of these assignments that are here, there's 4 assignments in here. If you have not finished any of them, you need to go back and get them done. These are like recorded as zeros until they're completed. Remember that it's our expectation that you score a 75% or higher, so it may take you a little bit of time, and you may have to complete these outside of class time if you haven't got them done. Now, of course, if you were SOL testing, we're not going to penalize you for that. I don't want to give you extra work when you were really doing real, good work. So I took out one of the lessons here last Thursday's lesson. So that means people who were testing on Tuesday or Monday, if you happen to be an early tester, this rescue at the South Pole, you would have done that on Thursday. And then for those of you who are testing on Thursday, this was your Monday assignment. So everyone had it assigned on a day when we were in class. All right, so there are 4 assignments here that have to be completed. One other note, just really quickly, if you have not logged into Achieve in a little while, there's going to be a level set that you'll have to complete. There were several people that started, and a couple of them finished. So if when you log into Achieve, you see that there's a level set waiting for you, go ahead and get that done and then get into today's lesson. So I'll tell you this, the other thing, so that you are not behind, it is always best to start with the newest thing, and then you're going to work backwards. So you'll start here on Monday the 10th, and then you can go back to last Monday, and then the Thursday, and then our first Monday here. Okay. Once again, these 4 assignments must be complete. You need to score a 75% or higher. Otherwise, you're at risk for failing these, and ultimately not passing this course, and that's not what I want for you. All right, let's get right into it. The first thing you'll need to do is log into Clever and then click on Achieve. Once you've done that, you're going to click on our lesson for today, Monday, 5/10/21, Mystery Ship Found. Go ahead and click on that. And then once you do, click on that, you'll be able to get to the article. All right. Click on that. Since today is an independent lesson, meaning you're going to be completing it by yourself, I'll provide some video support for right now. So you'll need to pause this video after each step. Okay. All right. A famous ship sank in the 1800s. Since then, countries have spent a great deal of time and millions of dollars searching for the ship. What do you think about this? Is it important to learn as much as we can about history, even if it takes a lot of time and money? All right, agree or disagree, and then I want you to put your thoughts down here. That's going to be important. Remember, the way that Achieve works, I don't know if you know this, if you don't put in answers, if you leave blanks, it does not contribute to your overall completion rate. So I know that everybody has like a number at the top, and it talks about points and all this other stuff. If not completing these actually does it, well, for one, it doesn't even count, but in some cases, like skipping this altogether, it'll subtract from your overall Lexile, and we don't want that. Everything in Achieve is important. So that's just a little look behind the the way Achieve works. Okay, the next thing I want to point out for you is if you come over here, your notes page, this is also, or notes box, this is also something that's really, really important. And they've given you some instructions here. And these aren't just for like, for teachers or something like that. This is really for you. So here is what you are specifically supposed to do for this lesson to receive your grade. You're going to answer this question. Do you agree or disagree? It's important to learn as much about history as we can, even if it takes a lot of time and money, and explain why you chose your answer. Why do you agree with that? Or why do you disagree with that? Then when you go on to the next page, take this advice right here. Take this, not advice, this directive. As you read, write down information about the history of the HMS Erebus from the ship's final voyage in the 1840s to the discovery of the wreckage. Take notes here and include facts and details about who was on the ship, where it was going, and why. You can use these later when you respond to your thought question. They're giving you basically the answers, or they're telling you what you're going to be quizzed on. So who was on the ship, where was it going, and why? All right, pause the video and you can complete this before reading poll. When you come back, we'll be in the article. All right, once you've come back, so welcome back. I want you to look at your vocabulary, take a moment, go through them. There's some words here that you may have been able to see, may be familiar with from the past, and some words that are new to you. For instance, Canadian Ranger is not something that I've ever come across. A person in a part of the Canadian Army that watches over places that are far from big cities and not easy to reach. I would have thought a Canadian Ranger was something else, but now I know what that is. Okay, so I'm going to keep that in my brain. All right, you're going to read the rest of yours. Now, I want you to get into your article here. First of all, we see where this news story was published. King William Island in Canada. All right. The next thing to note is right here. I know this might be kind of small, but if you're looking where my mouse is pointing, you're going to see that there are two parts to this article. Yes, you need to click on both parts. You need to read both parts of this article, okay? As you're reading, we're going to come back down here to our text box. Where was the ship going? What happened during the trip? When was the ship found? You're going to put your facts right here in this. So did you see that, they're giving us those clues? The expectation, the requirement is that you take notes while you're reading. You're reading for academic purposes, and you always take notes when you're reading for academic purposes. You cannot hold all of the information in your brain. And in fact, that's not even expected, right? That you remember everything that you read. What is expected is that you're able to read closely and you're able to process the information. And the notes are your output. And then the questions, those are a check for understanding to see if you get it. All right, take the time, pause this video, and you're going to read both parts. While you're reading, you're going to fill out your notes section. Go ahead and pause the video now. And once you've come back and you have your notes, if you don't have your notes, don't continue on. Go back and answer these questions. Where was the ship going? What happened during the trip? And when was the ship found? Those are 3 points that you're going to type in here. In fact, you could copy and paste them. Control C will copy. Control V will paste. Some people in my other class like to do this with free response questions. All right, and then I make a little bit of space so I could type in underneath. You're going to do the same thing if you haven't already. All right, you're going to get here into the activity. Now there's not instructions for me to give you. You have to read each part. And folks, the other thing is be very mindful that there are actually, two parts here, part one and part two, okay? And then if you click on this down here, refer to sources, if you don't know this, it will open your copy of your article. All right, and you could put that into dual screen mode, or you can, close it when you're done looking at it for this question, and you could go on to the next question. One other comment that I need to make before you go on to finishing these questions is when we say you need to get a 75%, that's on your first attempt. When you get into the results, if you got like a 50 on your first attempt and then a 100 on the second attempt, that doesn't help at all. That's not the score that's going to get put in. What they do, that second attempt, that's just a check to see like, okay, the student, it's really to show the teacher and the division, like how your processing is working, okay? But the one that matters, the one that counts for achieve and the one that counts in the grade book is your first attempt, not your second. If you're going to answer your second question, I'm sorry, the question for the second time, that's good because it does show, oh, the student maybe had a little bit of trouble, but if you're not trying on the first time, you know, and you get a 30, and then the second time the question pops up, you know, you get an 80, 87. Okay, that doesn't show us that, that does not in any way show us that you, you know, that you read the article, that you processed it, that your reading is improving, that you're becoming a stronger reader, okay? All right, after you finish this, you're gonna take your poll again, okay? And look, you don't have to type anything out for this one. Is it important? Has your opinion changed? Okay, you can click agree or disagree. And then you have your thought question. All right, this is not just a one-sentence answer. In this question, it's asking you to tell about the history of the HMS Erebus from 1845 to today. Tell who was on the ship, explain where the ship was going and why. Use facts and information from the news story in your answer. This is asking you to write a mini essay. It should be probably, let's see here, tell who was on the ship. Okay, that would be a 1 paragraph. And then where the ship was going and why. That will be your second paragraph. Okay. Yeah, we're looking for 2 paragraphs total. Once you're finished, this finish later button, this is if you're in the Zoom room and you're not quite done, but then you need to come back to it and submit in order to get your grade. All right. And if you do not make a 75% on your questions, okay, this is what you'll need to do. You'll have to come over here to the stretch article and the stretch activity. Okay. If you do not make a 75% on your first, you do have homework. That is extremely, extremely important that you complete this if you don't have a 75. All right, folks, I know this is a little bit of work, and normally we would kind of work through it together, but me being out today, we won't have that opportunity, but you can handle this because remember the article is always set to your reading level. That's why it's extremely critical that you make your minimum score of a 75. If you have any questions, you can always message me through Canvas, and I look forward to being back with you on Thursday. Folks, have a great afternoon. Well, have a great morning and then a great afternoon. And I will see you when I get back. Bye now.